5 lights, and away we go. I think everybody got a decent start there.
That's an insane start from Koushik. Exactly what he would have wanted. Oh, RB Ferraro, he just sneaked onto the inside and he has to P2.
Salvage some points from all the way down.
Eccentric sending down the inside on Oxygen, and Oxygen is coming back alongside. Putting his wheels, and he's side by side going around the outside. And I think he's got the move done. Yes, he has got the move. Oh, still there side by side, but it's got the inside line.
Hello everyone and welcome back to IRC Season 9. We really are having an exciting season here in Tier 2 as we head into the penultimate rounds of the season, the final few rounds, the deciding few rounds of the championship as we enter the final stage of what has been a very interesting World Drivers' Championship battle between the fastest drivers that Tier 2 has to offer. Good afternoon, my name is Aidsel and welcome to Abu Dhabi, where we go under the lights, where we go racing at this new track layout on the new F1 game. And joining me for what should be an interesting afternoon of racing are SSJ Assassin and my fellow co-commentator Moto. How are you doing, lads?
Yep, it's going great for me, man. Glad to be here streaming Abu Dhabi for the second time only in 4 seasons. Yeah, 4 seasons. So 2021 was a fun race to stream and watch, so I'm expecting a similar show here in Tier 2 also.
Yep, absolutely. Abu Dhabi always puts on... Well, actually, no. Abu Dhabi didn't used to put on a show because it wasn't very racing-oriented as a track, but after the track layout changes that we've seen over the past few years, it has become more of a racing track. It has become more of a competitive track where you can see a lot of overtaking as well. Speaking of track layouts, let's go ahead and have a look at the track video. So the new Abu Dhabi layout, few less turns, but the same distance. And of course, we have those major changes at turn 5 and turn 9 where we do have the hairpins, and it's going to be pretty interesting in terms of racing. Let's have a quick look at the Hotlap as well. So here we go, on board Blacksheep. We cross the start finish line, we head towards turn 1, get the car all the way over to the right and have a wide entry in because it's important not to run too wide on these curbs. Important section here, 2 turns through and 3. Important to maximize the amount of curb that you take, but not too much as they can unsettle the car massively. Turn 4 is pretty much a non-existent corner. We come down to turn 5, wide entry, late apex, but almost serves as an early apex as well because it sets you up really well for this DRS straight now. DRS open as we head towards the chicane, very crucial overtaking zone, possibly the most important one on the whole track as you brake for the chicane. Wide entry once again, important to maximize your exit here because there's another DRS zone coming up now. This is going to be an area where we see a lot of action in the race today, as we'll see a lot of drivers pulling switchbacks, trying to get the optimum line into the new reformatted turn 9, which is a wide and sort of off camber corner that curves to the left, and important to get the exit right as well. You don't want to go all over those curves, they can unsettle the car. Coming now again to the stadium section, we go under the bridge. Sorry, the stream stopped briefly for me, but that was Sector 3. It was pretty frantic. You have a lot of quick direction changes as you come under the stadium section. You come past the line, and the lap time you're aiming for ideally is a 1:23.3 as set by Blacksheep right there. Sorry about that. The stream kind of stopped for me for a second, so I couldn't quite grasp what was going on. But we missed a little bit of the under the bridge section, the Latifi corner as well. Will we see the Latifi corner claiming a lot of names today, Moto?
Yeah, welcome. I think I gotten a chance to introduce myself, but yeah, the Latifi corner is infamous. It's an off-cambered left-hander. It's slow speed as well, so you don't have the downforce to help the aerodynamical grip to help you either. It's just the tires doing the work there, and it's a very awkward corner because you always do understeer wide because it's quite a bit off camber. So the moment you take that apex, you just get pushed out wide to the exit, and the barrier is very close as well. So it's a corner which requires a lot of precision actually. A lot of corners in the circuit actually require a lot of precision and a very lot of throttle integrity or intelligence required as well on the exits. So yeah, new layout, new data for the teams for the drivers to explore with. A lot of new challenges coming their way, and it looks like it's going to be a banger as well because yeah, the new layout does promote for better racing and better wheel-to-wheel action as opposed to the old one, which was a bit more stop-start for my opinion. But yeah, it looks like to be an exciting one.
Absolutely, as we do head into the session. But before that, let me just quickly run you through the championship standings as we do enter these penultimate rounds. It is important to keep an eye on that. But as has been the trend throughout the season, Shawshank is still in P1 for Ferrari with 165 points this season. Really, really good season that he's having. And we also have a few surprise entrants in the top five who previously, up until the previous race, did not really feature too much. So we have Ritesh, 9350 Seb, who drives for Alpine in P2. He's coming out of nowhere in the championship standings. I think he was hovering around the top 5 or top 6, but over time he's just had some really consistent performances, put himself up into P2 in the championship. He's about 55 points behind Shawshank right now in the standings. It would take a mammoth effort to topple Shawshank at the top right now. Strendy in P3, he was a consistent finisher towards the front at the beginning of the season, dropped off a little bit towards the middle, but he's found his form again towards the end. So hopefully he can have resurge back into P1. Anish Montero in P4 as well, not having a great season by his own standards. But he'll hope to at least end on a high note. SWATcat in P5 as well. 2 Alpine drivers in the top 5. That's really promising stuff for them, and they are not that far behind in the constructors as well. Face Crack, Stray, Monk, AJ, and DK out of the top 10. And Ferrari and Alpine are very, very close in the constructors championship. So something to fight there going into the ultimate rounds. But it seems like the drivers championship is all but over. But crazy things have happened, so we won't conclude anything right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, about Strendy, yeah, he's seemed to catch up a bit, but sadly he's not here with us for this race. So yeah, I think that championship gap is just going to be opening up a bit too much by the end of it, and probably the only real contender right now is Ritesh, who's on board a lap as we switch to the other Alpine, Vilixam. I think he's a new attendee, or maybe his second race. He did do the France race last week. So yeah, a second race for him, and as he's approaching this off-cambered corner, you can see how nervy he is with the throttle. And yeah, not a lot of apex speed carried through that corner, through that section, and he's just threading his way through this very mechanical section. He sets a 26.6, which is instantly upsurged by Montero, who was almost 2 seconds quicker than the Alpine driver. So Montero, another one of the quick ones in the tier, and he's got his fair share of bad luck. Quite a bit like Charles this season to IRL, because he's been quite unlucky in a lot of scenarios and a lot of races. But he's got the pace, as you can see right now, as he's got provisional pole by over 2 seconds. Aces Scoop makes a return again. But yeah, it seems like he's still getting back to his groove, and he's quite a bit off the pace right now. Ritesh goes P2 with a 24.7. Shawshank surges Montero, but only by a 10th. So that gap is not as large as I had expected to be, considering how dominant the Ferraris were this season. So a good sign of things to come. Looks like it's going to be a promising qualifying session ahead of us.
Absolutely. I think an important thing to keep in a note of as well is the massive difference there's going to be between qualifying and the race. Obviously, we do want to intend to keep the focus on qualifying for now, but in terms of how the tire performs, how the grip changes, there's going to be a huge difference between the race. And we've seen that because we've had quite a few events leading up to this season where we've had Abu Dhabi. We've just been testing it out in the background and seeing how everything works around here and how the track layout is. And how well it promotes racing. It's been pretty good so far in all the events that we've done. And we've also seen that the race is massively different to quali. We don't have anywhere near the amount of grip. Sector 1 is not as Sector 1 is not as flat anymore as Rishi goes on provisional pole with a 1:24.0. So great
That's
lap
approaching
from
tier
him.
1 times, I'll be honest. That's a very, very rapid lap, not very early on in the session as well. So track evolution is rampant here. It really ramps up the track quite a bit, and it's easily worth over 3/10 if you really do nail your final qualifying lap. The track evolution alone is 3/10. So you can imagine how much you can gain from that, and how much probably the McLaren can gain from that if he still has that groove in the latter stage of qualifying. So a very dominant lap from McLaren there. So Heisenberg's just rounding off his in lap. He's in P8, still getting into terms with the new wheel as Ace Scoop has been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Oh, it seems he's spun out on the exit. He's lost his wing, and the game's just disqualified him for just parking. What it thinks is that he's parked in a dangerous location, but he's just had an offing, so that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, not quite what you want to see. I'm probably pushed a bit too hard on his cold tires coming out of the pit lane, but yeah, pretty early outing for offing for Ace Group there.
No, outing is right. Outing is the right word to use there. but yeah, not the ideal start to the qualifying session for the Williams driver. But yeah, as we are on board now with Rishi provisional pole of 1:24.0, magnificent lap. Any chance of anyone usurping that? I think we saw 1:23.3 from Blacksheep in the hot lap, so that's a absolutely barnstorming lap. And I think
It is in
Tier-2 was
tactile conditions though.
Absolutely, but we have seen a few drivers pull out all the stops in previous qualifying sessions. They've gotten awfully close. They've gotten awfully close in the past. Maybe not right up there, but they are very, very close. And these cars do look very, very nice underneath the lights, much more so than they do during the daytime due to the interesting lighting that this game has to offer. But we are not going to complain as we see PK19 filtering through Sector 2 here, coming up to the difficult stadium, sorry, not stadium section, hotel section. So used to saying stadium section after
Mexico and all.
after Mexico and Singapore. But yeah, heading through that complicated section, trying to keep it within the limits, which he does. So Montero crosses the line and starts his hot lap. Now PK19 crosses the line, moves up to P8.
Alright, let's stay on board with the McLaren because this circuit has quite a lot to unfold as he's getting a lot of traffic coming out, starting his hot lap. They all luckily don't intervene with him too much, but yeah, what a sight that must have been for Montero. And yeah, maybe that distraction has cost him some time because he's only 3 milliseconds up. But he has got purple in the first sector, and as he channels his way down the first DRS zone, you want to be on the right hand side. Preparing yourself for the braking zone. Brake at around 110 meters. Make sure you don't clip the curb at all because that can really unsettle your car and you'll just go straight on. It's insane how much the curves affect your braking in this track. As he's approaching to the second DRS zone, filtering through. Has he got his ERS switched off? I think he's pulled back. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, he's 5/10 off. I think he might have pulled back. So he's probably made a mistake somewhere, and or maybe the distractions have really filled with his mind, and he can't quite get into the groove in this lap. And he's probably going to come in for a new lap, or probably just going to try and improve on the lap on his second run, which is not quite what you want to do on a very abrasive circuit as such is Abu Dhabi. So yeah, he's going to want to come back in, though he chooses to stay out, and he's probably going to go for his second push lap right now. So yeah, those tires will be sort of rubbered in as well, but they'll be worn out as well as he's filtering his way through turns 1, 2. Another driver getting disqualified for blocking the pit lane. That is Curtains for the Haas driver over there, who's I think he's blocked the pit lane out of the exit as well, like as did Aces Group. So a repeat of what the Williams driver did. So yeah, kind of weird how a lot of drivers are coming across that issue, but it seems that sorry, it seems that he's had a bit of an offing again, like his stupid. Montero churning through sector 2. He's green on his first sector. A very nice one. Has he pulled back again? Let's have a look. No, his ERS is not flashing. He's 2.5 tenths up. Coming across turn 9, new reprofile corners. There's a bump on the apex, which he seemed to have hit. And yeah, he's drifted wide, but his lap is still valid, so he's going to push on as act as if nothing strange happened there as he's filtering through the hotel section, just floating along, almost just gliding along the track as if you're on rails, because there's only one line you can take through that section, and he's chosen to come back in. So yeah, he's happy with the lap, but he probably has a lot more time in there.
Yeah, absolutely. It did seem like he was improving, but that massive off at turn 9 probably wouldn't have helped, which weirdly, as you said, did not invalidate it, surprisingly. But it wouldn't have helped with his tire situation either. That running that wide would have definitely scrubbed those tires a lot more than he would have anticipated and he would have wanted, ideally. But we head into the final stage of qualifying. 7 minutes left now. This will be the chance for drivers to dive into the pits. It should be the closing laps on this tire set, and then they'll be heading into the pits and coming out on a fresh set in a couple of minutes time.
This sort of reminds me of Singapore again, where Rishi and Shawshank were extremely closely matched in qualifying, but in the race, what's humorous is what I remember is that both of them spun out at one point, but Rishi just made way more mistakes than what Shawshank did. He just dropped behind. The entire field, in fact, was lapped, I think. He was a lap down. So maybe he's looked at that, he's looked at his recordings, and he's seen what he's done wrong with his setup or his racecraft or how he approaches the race conditions, and maybe he's going to challenge Shawshank properly in this one. What do you think, Itsu?
I think we can hope for that. I think we can definitely hope for that. We've been hoping for some close battles throughout the season, but we've just had moments where drivers have had lapses of concentration and the battles ended kind of prematurely. I'm really hoping that we get a good season finale. This isn't it. Season finale is at Brazil, but that's a track that naturally promotes a lot of racing. So this track and Brazil are good sort of season enders, if you will, for lack of a better word.
He's lost swing. He's just had a tap of the wall as he was out of focus in the camera there.
Latifi corner claiming another one there.
Indeed.
Yeah, as I was saying, we want a lot of racing action. That's always been the aim. We've never wanted to see sort of races where one driver just runs away with it, as we've seen Shawshank done on so many occasions. Maybe Rishi might be able to put up a good fight for him today. He's definitely been on pace in qualifying, but only time can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. He seems to have nailed qualifying down to T, as he's still in the pits, probably waiting for the last minute to get as much of track evolution as possible. Meanwhile, Shrey is on a lap, and so is IRC Upbeat 20. He's quite a bit of a veteran now, if you will, if you can call him that. He's got quite a few seasons of league racing under his belt. He's 3 tenths off P2. Approaching the second sector. Drifting out wide. He can't quite get the right line through there. And a lot of moments where he's off throttle trying to get the car turned in to the corner. And you do not want to do that. When you approach a corner, it's important that you just have one two fixed inputs where you brake, you turn in, and you throttle out. You don't want to go on and off throttle again and again, trying to get the car turned around, because that's just going to scrub your tires and you're going to bleed lap time. So he's not quite figured out the line through there. He does improve, does he? I'm not quite sure if he improved or not, but yeah, a very scruffy lap. But he's going to get time, barely time, to go out for one more last ditch push lap. As Montero is on one right now. He's gone yellow in first sector. The track map shows he's gone purple, but no, he's just improving on his overall time as he's approaching one of the hardest braking zones, where you're just trying to get the car in a straight line because you're approaching it in an angle through the hotel section. Again, gliding through these corners, using the camber, sort of turning in early as possible, and he's gone a bit too wide there, and yeah, it's a lap gone. But he's going to get one more ditch effort to set a lap, as there's only 3.5 minutes left in the session. So Maybe he's played that smartly. He's just got out ahead before for some more track time, trying to see where the grip is and how the track is evolving. And yeah, he's gonna go out all out, guns blazing on his last.
If anything, it's actually come at a good time. The invalidation comes at a time when he was just as he just before the pit lane. So yeah, he's got now a chance to get on some fresh tires. Although that last lap will just be a case of bolt-on tires to the out lap, and that's going to be your hot lap when you start. You can't make any mistakes. As Sager improves to P9, but also interesting to note that Montero was down on his personal best in sector 1 on that lap, so there is time to find for the McLaren driver, definitely, and I think he realizes that well. But sector 3 catching a lot of drivers off today. We're seeing a lot of mistakes being made, a lot of drivers invalidating, a lot of drivers donating front wings to the cause of Formula 1. But yep, as we head down to these last few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes of qualifying, everybody is now on their final flying lap or on their out lap. So we will have a sort of scramble to the line now as we see who crosses the line who crosses the line in first, if not first, because that's going to be the race. As we see Ritesh, currently P2 in the championship, going underneath the hotel section there. Brilliant
So his
camera
outlap.
shot there. He is on his outlap.
Maybe.
Actually, no, it doesn't say he's on. I think he might have had one push lap.
He's messed it up then. He's coming back in. That's not nice. It's a bit of a disappointment there for the Alpine, who really needed a good qualifying performance to try and eke into Shawshank's lead. If Shawshank would have an offering in the race, he would probably be in a better position to capitalize on that. But further down ahead, we go on board Heisenberg in the Ferrari, still coming into grips with his new input device, his new wheel which he's using. But as he's approaching out of the chicane, puts the power down nicely, bit too wayward actually, how he approached the exit there. But into turn 9, the new reprofiled corner, he's 1.7 seconds off.
I think this might be, I think he might be a pull down lap. That is face crack, losing it into the barrier. Very, very surprising that wasn't a retirement, but that is
He's
probably...
gonna get
don't
disqualified
wanna be
now
reversing
if
for
he
that
stays
now.
there.
Yeah, and you don't want to be reversing. He's
retired.
He's
He's
retired.
retired on track.
I think it was a smarter decision to do that. Although I would have said the smartest decision was just to do the reset to track, because it's better than getting disqualified there, even though
I don't think they
against the
penalize
rule.
if you do that in qualifying either.
He could have just done a 180 otherwise. That would have worked.
Yeah, all that.
Well,
I feel it's better for the cameras as well. In all of this, it's important to know that Willickson has eked in. Oh my god! Okay, that was scary.
Holy crap! Holy crap, bro!
Holy crap, indeed.
Thanks, thank
to-
Codemasters for ghosting.
not to make it a full Jules Bianchi situation, not to make it too dark, but that would have been a repeat of that.
But
At least
yeah,
there
enough
wasn't an attack on
tell
board.
with that as we head on board with the McLaren now. I was just saying that Willickson's gotten himself into a good position, P3. He was 2 seconds off at the start of qualifying. It's a good showing from the Alpine driver there. But on board with Rishi now as he approaches the chicane. Beautiful line there, gets the car turned in perfectly. Throttles out early as well and gets the car in a straight line for the exit, as you do not want to be running over the blue stuff in this, even though it'll be the shortest line to the next corner, because it does slow you down quite a bit. He's gone purple. He's a 10th and a bit up in sector 2, so this could be into the 23s, which is very much in tier 1 territory, lads. And he's approaching sector 3 now, one of the most mechanical sections on the calendar. Braking in a straight line, taking a lot of curb there, gets the car nicely rotated under the bridge now, off camber section. He's drifted a bit too wide, and that's the lap in the pit.
Let's quickly go on about a couple of the other drivers as well while we do have the time. We have Shawshank and Arjun Senapati also on a lap. While we were talking, Willickson was moved down by 1 position, so Arjun Senapati has inherited the 3rd place. Ritesh has finished qualifying, so P2 in the driver standings could only muster up a best of P9. He'll be hoping for better performance in the race. Willickson also, his teammate, not quite done yet, so a few drivers still remaining. RP20 filtering through sector 3 now as well. A few drivers there seem to be right behind each other. There's a yellow flag. I think a Red Bull has spun out. That might be Sager potentially, because his teammate has, of course, retired already.
Could we go on more back Willickson? Because he was on a good lap.
RP20 has spun Willickson, improving on his personal best.
But not quite enough.
Unfortunately, not enough to dethrone Arjun Senapati from professional P3. So he'll start on the second row. So it's not too much of a concession for
Oh, Sejo was
Flick.
purple in Sector 2.
Seja was purple, but he was also the Red Bull that spun just ahead of Lixum coming through the Nicholas Latifi corner, for lack of a better name. No drivers currently out on track, still doing laps. So that is the end of qualifying, and that is our final grid order going into the race. Rishi
Yeah,
on pole.
Yeah, Rishi on pole, and it's scary to know that he had a 23 high under him, under his belt in that car and that setup, because he was up on by quite a bit in Sector 2, and Sector 3 again is where you'd probably gain the most time because of track evolution, because it's mechanical, and yeah. So good to know that Rishi's got some raw pace here, but again, his race is where the points are won. It's not qualifying. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe he's again gone for a bit too much of a qualifying oriented setup, if you will. What do you think?
Well, we'll definitely have a look at that going into the race, whether that setup concession might affect him majorly. But your final order for qualifying, Rishi on pole position with a magnificent 24-0. But as Moto mentioned earlier, there was a lot more in the tank, it seemed, for the McLaren driver. Shawshank, the championship leader, only good enough for P2, a tenth and a half off. He'll definitely feel like he should have done better in the qualifying session. Arjun Senapati, a surprise entrant in P3, someone we didn't really see it at any stage in qualifying, but then put in a magnificent lap towards the end to put himself on the second row. Lixum as well. Great lap from him, from the Alpine driver. Face crack in P5. Eisenberg doing well to get himself up into P6. He'll be hoping for a clean race. I think there was Montero and Ritesh Gaming in the top 8 as well. So yeah, interesting grid. A little bit of a mix-up. And of course, the omission of Strendy from today's race means that his Williams teammates will have to do him proud. But I don't think they're in a position now, but they will be potentially after the race start. No formation lap because of the buggy nature of Codemaster's brilliant game. So we'll head right into the race start. Hopefully this time around, Shawshank and Rishi will be able to keep on each other's tails for long enough that they don't spin, because in Singapore, I'm doing some reverse jinxing here. Naturally, commentators curse like they're gonna do really well, and then they spin. So this time, I'm saying that Rishi and Shawshank both spun within the span of 3 corners in Singapore, when they were well clear of the rest of the field. So this time, they'll be hoping not to make mistakes like that and capitalize on their starting position, because having a nice clean start at Abu Dhabi is going to be a big factor. And we're also going to be seeing a lot of burn Maylander today.
Oh yeah,
I'm
absolutely. Tier 2
just
does
letting you
not
know.
hold back when it comes to safety cars, as we saw in Singapore, where I think 50% of the race was under safety car. But yeah, this gives us some time to talk about strategy, because we've seen one stopper. I'm guessing it's going to be favorable again over here, medium to hard or hard to medium. But with the risk of the safety car, which one would you prefer, the alternate or the medium to hard?
I would do the medium to hard. I would want maximum pace on the start. I wouldn't even be surprised if some drivers decided to go for the softs. It might be really outward call, but a safety car within the first 5 laps is something that we see very regularly here at Abu Dhabi, not only in terms of league races, but also in the social races and events that we've done leading up to this weekend, leading up to this season. We've seen a lot of instances of the safety car coming out almost on the first lap or in the second lap. So the softs could help you get a really mega start compared to those on the hard tires. Those hard tires take a long time to get fired up, and ideally they only really make sense if you have a perfectly clean start. But Moto, we're almost leading up to the race now, and I'll let you handle the race start.
All right, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Another baking sun, setting sun of Abu Dhabi. Rishi gets a great start. He's on the medium tires. Shawshank is opted for the hard tires, and yeah, that goes to show that. But Shawshank's fighting him into turn 1 and almost gets the move done, but no, hangs back later on. Someone got a jump start there. So far, clean proceedings as the Alpine and AlphaTauri go side by side. I think that's Face crack and Vilixum who are going side by side. Swagger has got a brilliant start. He's up 5 positions from where he qualified. So great showing there from the Williams driver there, who's pitched in for Strendy, I think. Arjun, the McLaren is weaving all over the circuit, trying to break the toe, but Arjun Senapati is hot on the heels of the Ferrari. But yeah, a very, very good start for all these drivers here. Some good action right now. As you can see that Arjun has got the pace on Shawshank here, which is kind of surprising because they're both on the hard tires as well.
Keep an
But
eye
yeah.
on Ritesh Gaming. He has gone on the soft tire. That really outside strategy. Well, someone's
Oh my
actually
God.
gone for it. The mad lad. He's on the soft tires now, and it's really paying dividends right now. Up
But
three
he's got to
positions
get these
already.
moves done as quick as possible. But he's going round the inside, gets a beautiful switchback, gets the bar down way earlier, and that's a beautiful move. On FaceTime, who tags him a little bit, but it's all well held by the Alpine driver as these cars are just looking really good under this setting sun. I just wanted to make that out to you. But yeah, a good battles already, and Ritesh making the most of the soft compound of tire.
Rishi currently leading the rest of the pack now on the medium
Oh,
tires.
oh, it's a big offing there.
I believe there wasn't really any contact. I think one of them may have lost the rear end coming out of that last corner and tagged the driver next to them, which is unfortunate because they were having such a good race start. Is that going to be a safety car? No, I don't think so. Just
I
a
don't
few,
think so.
few lost end plates, I think.
Oh, Rishi's
And
lost his car.
Ah,
Oh, he spun out of turn 2 again. He's made a mistake in race conditions and he's back down to P10. This is what we had thought. He's probably gone for a bit too aggressive of setup for race conditions
See,
and it's bitten him in the back.
We've seen this in the past. Stay on board Shawshank. Dan, stay on board Shawshank. We've seen this in the past.
Wait, I've seen this one before.
I've seen this before. Yeah, but unfortunate for Rishi. He was doing so well in that early phase. Oh, look at this switchbacks galore as... Oh, that's Rishi getting the move done on Upbeat 20. And Montero was involved there as well. Actually, no, I did
side by
feel
side.
like I saw another McLaren there, but they are going side by side, going into turn 9. Not really, no, but taking opportunity here, going around the outside. Could potentially get the switch back done, but Rishi covers it off well and keeps P9. Good battle there between Avi and Rishi, but Rishi, unfortunate for the McLaren driver, losing so many positions at this early phase of the race, where one spin can cost you that many positions when the grid is bunched up quite a bit. But yeah, those opening few laps, we saw a few skirmishes all over the field. We saw on lap 1, I think there was an Alpha involved in an incident that was Uday, it seemed like. So not a great start to race either for the Alpha driver, as after he got disqualified in quali, he now finds himself 35 seconds behind the field. But a safety car might pull him right back into it. Speaking of which, we haven't seen Burn Maylander yet, which means what is Ritesh planning on doing? He's up into P3 now on the softs, but ideally he's got another
He's losing
3
time
laps.
already. He's losing time already.
He's losing time already, as Moto's letting us know. So what is he going to do without a say? Never mind.
Never mind. It's a VSC though. It's a VSC. But it could change to a SC if there's a lot of debris on track, which I don't think it has, because I don't see the yellow dot out on the map yet, on the track map yet. So
I think it is a VSC, but I think even that Ritesh might seize that and just go for it. I think the time that he'll try to lose as little time as possible making that pit stop, because the soft tires have worked. Obviously, they fired into
ABD's
the
got a
zone and he's
monster
gotten up.
start as well.
Yep, he's up to P6 as well on the medium, so he's in a really good position. But yeah, Ritesh has to keep an eye on the tires and more importantly make a decision on that strategy. I actually thought the
That's
safety car
bad.
came out. No, that was Uday in the pits. Okay, makes sense. Well, we are still under VSC conditions.
Yeah, quite a clean race start there we saw until lap 2 or lap 1 end out of the last corner, where I think 2 drivers spun simultaneously out of the last corner, which is kind of nice to look at. But yeah, that last corner is kind of weird because you get such less time to get your car in a straight line to brake. So it's just really awkward as to when you want to brake and how much speed you can carry through here as well. Because it is in camber, so you always want to carry more speed, but then you try and get on power too early, and yeah, that's what happens. As Power gets a drive through, was speeding under safety car. I think he got it on the restart a bit too early, and it's come back to bite him there. But not a good look for the Haas driver there. The Haases have been quite all over the place in this tier. Very aggressive and very erratic as well, they're driving. But here we see Swagger just gliding past Racecrack. Difference in setup. Oh, there's ABD who wants to get a move done as well. He almost gets the move done on both the cars. seizing the opportunity. He's on the medium tires, using that to his full advantage. They're going side by side on the second straight. Who's going to lead into turn 9? It's
ABD
ABD.
is looking
Chosen to
very
use more
racy.
than he got us, yeah. He's got himself up to P4. So yeah, great showing from the Merc driver there, and he's using his medium tires to good use right now. Or putting
Yep,
his medium tires to good
absolutely.
use.
He's cooking
Oh.
those hard runners right now. As that is
Oh.
Swagger Turbo picking up damage and then gets pit maneuvered just to compound his misery. Woohoo! As long as he was ghosted, that is good. He's got himself well off the racing line there. But yeah, not ideal.
That was
for
Montero,
Swagger
I think,
there.
who broke a bit too late for Swagger's liking. And Swagger broke a bit too early for Montero's liking, whatever way you want to put it.
I
And
think it was
yeah.
just a case of Swagger losing his rear wing, not having too much downforce. He had to slow down a bit more to make the corner, and that just caught Montero off guard. Especially when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
following a car that closely, it makes a huge difference to suddenly see them slowing down on the apex. It's not the nicest thing to see, and Montero already experienced that in quali. But interesting to note, since the field hasn't really, I was going to say the field spaced itself out a little bit there, but that is Rishi diving down the inside of Face Crack, making the move. And getting the move done as well, but he now has to keep a weather eye on his rear view mirrors, and now he has
We
to
have the
break
telemetry
toe.
on. Yeah, thank you. He's at
Yeah.
48% ERS. He's used up quite a bit considering there was a VSC and all as well. So probably could come back to bite him later on. But yeah, he needs to get these moves done if he wants to get a shot at the podium or top 2.
And I think
it's-
that is the reasoning behind it. I think it's just a case of trying to recover his position.
Yeah, but that again, the ERS is at a premium on this circuit because there are a lot of hard braking zones, especially sector 3, where it's just a tap on the brake to get the car rotated. But yeah, it's going to be hard for him to get that back. But he's got a lot of pace. As you can see, he's already closed up behind that car right there of Pirate SJS. Arjun gives the move down on Abhi. But Vilixum, who had a bad start, he's all the way down to P13. I think probably he was bullied around a bit at the start. Ooh, that's Abhi getting out of shape in the Latifi corner, claiming yet another one. As Pirate comes into pits already, maybe that's for wing damage because he is on the hard tires, and that's way too early for the hard tires. As the telemetry is going to be updated shortly. I think, does he have damage? Or is he coming in for his drive-through? Okay, alright, yeah. He's coming in to serve the drive-through.
I was
there.
gonna say I'm looking really hard at that front wing graphic, and there's not much difference there from what I normally see. So I was like, has he got wing damage? No, but he doesn't have wing damage. He was coming in to serve his TT. But tell you what though, Rishi is really caught up to Montero now. I mean, his teammate, he's not that far off. Montero now on the back of ABD, moving to the outside, making the move, trying to make the move around the outside. He will have the assistance of DRS. He gets the move done, but now
Now AB has to get a good exit, which he does. He does sort of, and he's going to use his ERS again, try and get back. Not quite. Maybe he's just choosing to hang behind the McLaren and using the DRS as a means to increase his race pace and just stick with these front runners right now. Oh,
Absolutely. And behind Heisenberg and Face Crack going at it, going tooth and nail, going into turn 9, keeping it very clean, keeping it well within the lines. Good racing there from the two of them as they head into the hotel section in Sector 3. Ooh, Heisenberg locking up a bit because of the curves on the outside, maybe loses a little bit of time. But it's interesting to note that when RB20 did spin through Nicholas Latifi corner, he didn't spin where you'd normally expect, which is here. He spun on entry. So he lost the car on entry, it seems like, and he might have locked up the rears or something.
Rishi's lighting up the track right now. Fast lap, and those mediums are quite worn because he had a spin as well. So he's found a bit of his mojo back, and that's what he needs. He just needs that fastest lap to show up there and give him that confidence boost and just get the charge back on. And I'm pretty sure Shawshank's going to react to that as well right now.
Absolutely, but something that I've just noticed that I do want to bring your attention to, Arjun Senapati is absolutely pushing Shawshank through these corners right now. I don't know what's happened in these last few laps, but he is... Spirit SG loses his front wing there, so this time he'll have to pitch for the front wing.
Safety car's out.
Oh, safety car is out. Oh, that
Why,
helps.
though?
That helps.
Oh my
the front wing.
What the hell?
That's everybody getting very close to the back of Rishi there. This helps Rishi. This helps Ritesh massively as well. I think Ritesh may have been in a beautiful position now to get a podium, if not get the race win. But so the soft tires has worked out roughly, I would say. He's lost a lot of time to Arjun Senapati and Shawshank, but he's not lost a huge amount of time to the drivers behind him. So he'll be looking to capitalize on that, dive into the pits for some new tires. Which tires will he go for? Will the hards make it to the end?
What lap is it right now? It's lap
It's
7.
seven
No,
as they come across the
Hards
line.
will definitely not make it. Maybe they will make it, but will the driver make it or not on those old tires is another question. So there's always that there. But yeah, Ritesh benefiting nicely from the safety car actually. He gets a free pit stop. But the thing is, what tire does he choose to go to? Because he's going to try and eke this out to one stop and hope for a safety car later on again to help him get rid of that tire wear and put on a new set of tires. Yeah, he goes to the hard tires. So he's going to stretch these as long as possible. Although he does drop down to P11, though he's on the fresh tires right now. But he's going to be hoping for another safety car. Otherwise, those hard tires will be quite knackered up by the end of this race.
I think we might lose 2 or 3 laps to the safety cars. So we probably, ideally speaking, lap 10 we're going to be starting racing again. So 19 laps on the hard tires. Yeah, that is a bit of a push. The game recommends 16 laps on the hard tires. So 19 laps is going to be a real stretch. But we have seen tire management miracles in the past. So yeah, he's got his work cut out for him, though. What is the conclusion we've come to. But also another thing to note is he picked up a 3-second time penalty going into the pit lane, which is not ideal for him.
So 5 seconds then, not 3.
No, he cut the curb going into the into the pit lane. So he got it for track limits, weirdly. But yeah, he's one of 2 drivers now who's on a penalty, the other being ABD. Oh, and Pirate SG now as well. It's just updated.
The pit lane entry here is quite a conundrum because your tires are absolutely screeching by the end of the lap, and you have that really awkward braking where you just you sling to the right to get into the pit entry, and your tires are nearly on the heating point, like they're probably the hottest by then. So it's kind of hard, I can imagine, for these drivers to try and make the pit entry properly as you normally have to. Oh, that's a
he's lost his wing.
And yeah, that's not a good showing from the Williams driver, who's had probably a very, very what do you call?
Torrid season.
Torrid season, yeah, rather.
Yeah, not ideal there for Aces Scoop, who maybe got a little cold by the fact that his teammate is not there.
And he's he's a lap down, so it doesn't matter either way. But yeah.
Oh yeah, he's stuck behind the safety car, and he's stuck in the middle of the pack.
Yep.
Yeah, he is. He's behind Montero. That's not ideal for him. He's in a similar position to me when we had the safety car in Singapore and I was stuck behind Russell. Couldn't really unlap myself, couldn't really fix my situation, and I'm right in saying that's pretty much race over for Aces Scope as a result of that. But it is interesting to note, how did he make contact with Montero there if he was ghosted? Surely he's ghosted, or is he not under safety car conditions?
I'm not quite sure actually. Should I get some drive-through penalty?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a lobby restart at this rate.
Yeah, because the cars are all over the place. We're gonna stick on and see if the safety car does not bug out.
Oh my god!
It's really pushing the safety car through there. Giving Burn the hurry up as to go or move. Tires getting
Shawshank's like my GT3 car.
Oh wait, what? He's dropped down.
There's a lot of desync.
Yeah, there's a lot of desync.
Everybody's look at Ace's Scoop though. He's racking up those penalties, and Shawshank got another 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
And Shrey has a DT and ABD has 3 seconds. And what is going? It is Scoop has a DT now.
Yeah, this is decent. This is decent. Yeah, this is definitely decent.
Word is in. Lobby is completely bugged right now, and it looks like we're gonna have a restart, which is just quite bothering as to why we're getting this done, because we had quite a nice race ahead of us with the positions of the drivers and all, a lot of action going on, but the lobby is bugged and it's going to be restarted right now. So just hold on, folks, and we'll be right back in a short while.
Yeah, still exploring the possibility of continuing the race. I'm looking at the tier 2 chat right now, and everybody's saying the safety car is not going in. The lobby is F word. Lobby is yeah, it's really funny to see these guys. Everybody is in like in the wrong position, but yeah, you see, there are so many factors that we can control, and there are very few factors that are out of our control. And one of those things is the game just deciding to be a mean old mistress. Unfortunately, causing some issues for us today, but no issues. We will get back to the race shortly enough. We'll wait for the lobby to restart, and then we'll go for it again.
Yeah, we'll be right back in a while. And yeah, it looked like it was going to be a good race ahead of us. Some nice
Yeah,
overtakes.
yeah.
It's nice to see the layout is providing for better racing as well, because you saw a lot of switchbacks into the chicane and into that new turn, new reprofile turn 9, which is such a good corner actually on this track. A very unique corner actually, just to the circuit. So
I
yeah, it's
think
good to see that's promoting good racing, and be back to
I
it.
I think the biggest change just has to be the chicane before turn 5. The fact that, you know, it's been reprofiled as in removed completely. Basically, it allows people to stay so close going into turn 5 now, which means it promotes a lot of overtaking opportunities going into the chicane just after it, just after the DRS straight. So that's the major difference, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm guessing this little time gives us some a short while to talk about what's been going on in the real life scenario of F1. We had the Suzuka Grand Prix last week, which could have been a banger of a full length race, but we still got 45 minutes of pure racing action there in those treacherous conditions. A lot going on in that race, and yeah, what are your thoughts on it, Itzel? What do you think? Do you think the race director should have started that race on time, or is it safe that he waited it out for the rain to pass or simmer down a bit?
Um, Definitely an interesting conundrum. But I think we'll have a little bit more time to discuss this a little later on because it did seem like we're back into the lobby. I think it is massively glitched though still.
Yeah,
Because Shawshank is down into P4 or has the safety car restart
the
already
safety
happened
car's in
and
the
maybe
mid
you can
pack.
give us. Oh, interesting.
Wait, no, the safety car's gone. It's racing
The
resumed.
safety car is
We're
gone.
racing now. I don't know if these are going to count, as we have a Williams, sorry, an AlphaTauri and McLaren going side by side through that chicane exit. Very very neatly held. They're still going side by side. But I think the McLaren usurps him. They're going very slow for some reason. There's Shawshank who's into the frame as well now. Never mind, that was just a camera angle giving that perspective. The three wide almost going for that new reprofile corner. They're all bunched up and they're all scattering around for positions to gain. And this is just exciting to watch.
So the decision from the coordinators, just to give you a little bit of clarity, is there is no lobby restart being planned because the safety car has come in as per necessary, and that is Rishi spun
Oh,
again. No, 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 McLaren man. Uh, uh, but yeah, the coordinators have said that no restart will continue, and any unforeseen penalties that have been received by the drivers, like for example Shawshank's 10 seconds that he's just gotten out of the blue for no reason, will be assessed later by the stewards. So yeah, the race will
okay, so
continue.
Scoop is retired. Let's hope that's not another safety car. Oh, it's coming out again.
It is there. It is. I can see the dot on the map already.
How is
There
he
it is
retired
coming
in
down
that
the
corner?
lane.
How is the Williams retired there? How is that possible? It's an interesting position to lose a wheel or two there, but yeah, the safety car's out again, and I've crossed my fingers that it's not as buggy as the last time. Arjun gets the move done on Shawshank there in safety car conditions, which is perfectly normal, perfectly fine.
Brilliant move under safety car conditions.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Oh,
think he's just wait.
yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
That's
that's
fine. That's
Rishi.
fine.
Okay, all right.
He's
I
a
thought it was Montero just gliding past the safety car without care in the world.
everybody has to go past the safety. Everybody has to go past the safety car now because Rishi's at the back of the field. It makes sense. I was like, damn, he's really pulled a stiffy there. But yes, another safety car courtesy of Ace Scoop's retirement. Not quite sure where he retired either.
It was
Let's go
turn
and see
9
what he's
exit,
happening.
turn 9, the newly profiled corner. I mean, it's
Oh,
easy to lose your car there, but there's a lot of runoff available to you. So I don't know how he's DNF'd from that position. Yeah.
that's what I was thinking as well. The first thought that came to mind was even if you do spin, there's like 2 million acres of runoff all around you. There's no possible way you put it into a
What
barrier
has chosen
there.
to come in? I think the mediums will go till the end. The hards will definitely go till the end now, but mediums.
He is
and
going for the
hards.
mediums.
Yeah, he is going for the mediums. Is he counting?
Mediums.
Oh, he's getting wing change.
Oh,
He's got some. He
that
had some
makes
damage.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That changed. And he's dropped to P10. Good lord. That
Good lord,
pit stop,
indeed.
that previous safety car restart bunched up the field, and that really hasn't helped Montero at all. But tell you what, though, even after all the little desync issues that we had, the grid has roughly found itself back into place. So Arjun Senapati and Shawshank, tell you what, though, Arjun Senapati is putting on a brilliant drive today. A very
Oh yeah.
low key, sort of underrated drive. He's not been at the center of focus at any point, but that's because he's just been keeping it clean, not diving into battles and sticking his nose in every time he comes to a corner, and just really mature racing from the AlphaTauri driver there, as he is leading the pack now as we get ready for the safety car restart in a few laps time. But yeah, interesting strategy call there from Montero, as you mentioned, the medium tires, assuming 2 or 3 laps lost to safety car, he'd still 14 laps on the mediums, which is going to be a stretch for him. Ritesh, can we just have a quick look at Ritesh's tire situation? Obviously, he's not going to pit again, but it's looking all right. I think the 10-15% range is probably where it's at right now, those tires. So it is going to be difficult, as Moto mentioned earlier, to take those tires till the end, but he's doing a good job of maintaining them so far, not pushing them, and definitely not having any major scrubbing incidents, like spin, for example. But yeah, Richie, just before the safety car came out there, spun again. Tell you what, though, he's timing these spins to perfection. Not to make it seem like a jibe at him or anything, but yeah, he's timed the spins when he's had them. Though unfortunate, he's timed them at a good time, because every time he does have a spin, someone retires and we have a safety car. So again, he'll benefit a lot from the restart. He has gone on the hard tires now, so he won't be as rapid as he was on the previous restart. But we know the pace that Rishi has. Interesting to note that Shawshank is now coming in. Is he going for the mediums, as Montero did a few laps earlier? I think he might be. Yep, he's gone onto the medium tires. So yeah, he's going for the same strategy as Montero is. So he'll look to go till the end on the mediums. Shrey with an interesting strategy. He's on the soft tires. He's already put 2 laps of wear on them just in the safety car period alone. Not ideal for him. But he's also looking to do one of those Ritesh type strategies where, he's banking on another safety car coming out in the next 6 or 7 laps.
Oh,
on the
did Shawshank pit? Yeah, I think he did, right?
He did. He pitted for new
Mediums.
tires. I think. Yep, he's gone for mediums. Same strategy as Montero. So it'll be difficult to make it to the end, but I think they're also banking on another safety car. So if Montero and Shawshank do have, if there is another safety car period, they won't be diving into the pits. They'll be staying out basically, unless it's very late towards the end and they can go for the soft. They won't be pitting again for the rest of this race. It's my educated guess.
Yeah.
But
Some
Shrey is on
surprising
softs.
runners have found themselves in the podium positions. AJ and Mamu Kazmi, P2 and 3. Mamu without a penalty as well, it was named. Though I think most of those penalties are under glitches, so they'll get those removed probably. So a big week ahead for the stewards. They're trying to get these penalties out of the way. But yeah, provisionally, as it seems, I think Shawshank's penalties should most likely be removed because he got them under the bugged SC or something. But what's interesting to note now is Rishi and Shawshank are back. Well, not close to each other. There's still, what is that? 5 cars separating them. But yeah, considering the pace Shawshank has, and so does Rishi, we're going to see a good fight ahead of us. So the safety car is coming in, so it's not bugged anymore. Cross your fingers for that. Arjun's ramping up his tires, trying to get as much temperature into them as possible because he's in the hard tires. And let's see how he plans his restart. Quite a normal one. AJ does not get caught out. He's right up there with him. 4 tenths, 3 tenths now. So good play by AJ there. to keep within 5/10 of Arjun, and so hold his Mamka. They get a good restart as well. So Arjun has not planned that properly, if I were to say so myself.
Absolutely
it's
good
going
safety
very
car
wide there.
restart from AJ. Good restart there from AJ. We will have a look at the positions right now, but these are from the beginning, so they're not really very. Dan, if you could just bring up the tire situation, that's going to be the important thing to keep an eye on. These medium runners need to dispatch of the hard runners as soon as possible. They need that clean air. They can't be fighting for too long, but they especially won't be able to do much.
There's going to be a
They're fighting
dive bomb.
amongst themselves. Yep, we will
Oh
see
my
that.
god! Wow, what a move!
Very late on the brakes there from Rishi, but he
Oh,
clears
face track is still captured within the inside. They're going side by side on the exit, and Swagger says hello to that fight as well. And face track sort of gets the move done around the outside. Nope, they're going to go side by side again into this corner. We've seen this occasion happen so many times in this race so far, where these drivers just going side by side almost everywhere, and face track stays ahead by the skin of his teeth there. So very good racing right there.
I just wanted to say what a move there by Face Crack. If it was not for an overtake, it was for defense. Round the outside of turn 9, he held his position. Just kept his position, just held his line. Rishi couldn't really do much there because he can't swing wide because obviously there's an AlphaTauri there and the tighter line isn't going to help him get a better exit. So he just had to stay put and just try to make it through the corner and survive.
Yep.
And it's really good defense from Face Crack there, who's pulling out all the stops in this defense now. Defending that, I would say, final points position, but we have points going up until P15. So, yeah, he's just trying to hold position. Try to keep Rishi back for as long as possible. But that is Montero getting
very wayward into that S section. Montero is sniffing up a move there, taking a wide line, but that's allowed Abhi20 to kind of sniff a move on McLaren as well. This is great to watch. Everyone's trying to get a better line to get a better exit in the car head. That just allows the car behind to follow through as well. As there's almost a bunch of four cars. There's a bit of debris flying around. It's Heisenberg who's without a wing. Oh no.
That's not a bit of debris.
Oh no.
That is not a bit of debris. That's a lot of debris as Heisenberg has donated an entire wing there.
I think he just kind of got stuck in and boxed in. He couldn't brake on time, and yeah, it's his wing. Oh my god, what is going on?
That's Shawshank. Oh no.
No, that's not Shawshank. That was an Alpha of Mamka.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Oh, is Shawshank on the front wing? No, he's got his wing. He's got his wing, luckily. But wow, what is going on? It's like a battle royale out there. It's a free for all.
Tell you what, though, right now Shawshank is being held up by his teammate. No, he isn't. He's let him go because there's another incident. Blixham's retired. Blixham is out. DRS the DRS enabled. I thought it said DRS disabled there for a second.
Oh boy,
No,
what is going on?
I think Vilixim's made contact with Mamuka Admi there. It did seem like he was involved in that little skirmish. And yeah, Vilixim comes off worse for the wear as a result of it. Not ideal there for the Alpine driver. He was looking in such a good position as well going into qualifying. But unfortunately, he's now finds himself for an early shot as he finds himself DNF.
Yeah. And it's kind of disappointing for him because he was looking good in qualifying, and yeah, as you said, an early outing for him from the race. But getting back on things with the proceedings now, we've seen some great racing so far, and there's still drivers scuffling around for moves. And okay, I think Dan might have got a park cut, so we might have gonna have a stream crash. But let's cross our fingers and hope nothing happens there. But yeah, some great racing going on, and the car's still fighting for position tooth and nail, as if it's the last lap, the last race, and it's for the WDC, which is just great to see because these drivers are just not afraid to make moves in any part of the track. They'll go side by side anywhere, and that's just great to see.
Absolutely. I think we were on board with Face Crack there. We still are on board with Face Crack. Montero as well now hunting down ABD.
Oh, we missed Shawshank getting past Rishi there, sadly.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good battle. But we might see another installment of that battle soon because they are still separated by only 0.6 of a second. There might be there might be a sequel to that battle, if you will, as Montero was hunting down ABD there for a second. He is on the faster tires, so this should be a pretty straightforward mode as he goes down the inside, going into turn 5. ABD on the outside. Ooh, gets a good exit though. It seemed like he almost had the switchback done there, but unfortunately not the case. Both of them will have DRS. So will Ritesh ahead. They're all benefiting from the DRS coming off AJ's rear as Arjun Senapati is gapped the rest of the field. Now 4 seconds clear. He's now almost halfway down the straight as everybody else is coming through the chicane. This is ABBD still on the back of Montero himself on the back of Ritesh, and that move also looks to be developing quite rapidly as Montero is the highest medium runner right now, and he's in a midst of hard runners as well. So the tire advantage should be massive, especially against the likes of AJ and Arjun Senapati, if not Ritesh, because they are on very worn 17-lap-old hards. So they're trying to make it last until as late as they can, because they're hoping for another safety car towards the final 4 or 5 laps to go on softs and just make it a hard soft potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we live?
I'll have a look on YouTube. 1 second.
Okay. So now we're in lap 25, 29, and Shawshank has made his way back to the top, and Arjun Senapati looks like he's picked up a penalty. I'm assuming it's 3 seconds because there's no other penalty that he could have gotten, unless he whacks someone in the safety car.
For track limit, yeah.
Yep, can we have a look at the penalties, please, Moto? Yeah, just stay on the penalties. Yep.
I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little bit of a little electrical interference, unfortunately, so we couldn't continue the stream. But now we've changed a few things around in the background, and we've gotten the stream back up. We have missed a little bit of action. We had a safety car in the middle there while we were off, so we've had a safety car restart where everybody's on varying strategies. So it'll be interesting to know who's on what strategies. So if we can bring up the tire information just briefly, we can have a better look at that. So okay, so Shawshank on softs and Arjun Senapati on mediums and ABD on softs. ABD might actually be on for a maiden podium here, I think. If we can keep the pace up, and if we can keep the likes of Rishi behind him for as long as possible, or at least if we can get past Arjun Senapati, this should be a very, very interesting end to the race for him.
Yeah, I cannot exactly see how many penalties ABD has got, because what we are seeing right now, our feed is a bit blurred out. But to be on the safer side, if he does keep himself ahead by 3 seconds, yep, yeah, the feed is cleared now, Moto. Thank you for fixing it. Yep, so Arjun Senapati looks like he's at a significant disadvantage with compared to the other drivers around him. Everyone being in relatively fresh softs, while Arjun Senapati is on fairly worn-out mediums. And yep, I think if Shawshank keeps it smooth and clean, it's an easy win for him.
Yep, absolutely, and he's lighting up the timesheet right now. He's quite a bit clear at the front. He's 3 seconds clear of Arjun Senapati, and I think Arjun Senapati is the proverbial cork in this bottle. He's holding up quite a few drivers behind him, all on soft tires. Interesting to note that Ritesh is also on 19-lap-old hard tires. He's really pushing those hards. I don't know why he didn't quit towards the end. I think the reason might be because he didn't have another set of softs available to him, or actually he might have now, because they have many. I think they have 3 sets of softs available to them over the course of a race weekend, or is it 2?
No, from FR22 onwards, we have access only to one set of each compound. One set of softs, one set of mediums, and a set of hards. And Swagger Turbo is driving. His car looks like Pinocchio, so he is just trying to keep his car on track and save those positions as much as he can.
It would be good to stay on board with Rishi and ABD here as they are fighting through the hotel section. That is not even on ABD there. That was just Rishi being a bit too keen. Why was he trying to make a move down the inside there from so far back?
That was very foolhardy. That was
unwarranted there from Rishi. Just a bit too aggressive, trying to make the move there. And he's, handed the podium now to ABD on a silver platter. If ABD can just keep a cool head and drive till the end. And if anything, he should be picking up Okay, no. Shrey might pick up P3 because of ABD's penalty. He's got 6 seconds now versus Shrey's 3 seconds. So not ideal for ABD now. He has to open up a bit of a gap. He is 2.5 seconds clear, and that gap is steadily increasing.
You're forgetting Montero, who's driving without any penalties at the moment. So ABD is either way out of contention for the podium places, because he will drop by 6 seconds, Shrey will drop by 3, and Montero, he is pretty close to them. So yeah, it's if things go the way they are, Montero's taking that final step in the podium.
Absolutely, there's another little event to keep an eye on towards the end there as we do enter these final few laps. We don't have quite the safety car restart kind of situation that we did from Abu Dhabi 21, but the safety car that came out a few laps earlier has definitely caused a major shuffle in the whole field. Interesting to note also that who was it? Ritesh has dropped down quite a bit, and Face Crack as well. AJ has dropped down since we last saw. Just before the stream went down, we saw AJ was up into P2. So something's changed between that and then and now. So AJ's dropped a lot down the field. Currently finding himself at P10, only a position ahead of his own teammate Pirate SG in P11. Not ideal for the harsh driver, especially considering where he was. But Montero now 6.5 tenths behind Shrey, now look to make the move. I don't know, man. I feel like if Montero and Shrey get caught up in a battle, especially considering it's the last lap, maybe we might see ABD pull out enough of a gap, but I don't think he's going to lose 3 seconds in the span of a lap unless there's some really intense battling going on here.
Montero goes for a really aggressive dive, but yeah, I think he went in just a bit too deep there. So he is still keeping himself behind Shrey, but he will have the DRS for this straight. But if he has to play the smart game, he should keep himself behind. But it looks like Shrey is out of ERS completely and gives him a slight tap on his right rear end. But yes, he also gets DRS. And Montero, does Montero have enough of gas to keep himself ahead? No, it doesn't look like that. Only chance for Montero's. But yeah, I think he knows that his position there in the podium is sorted, provided he doesn't lose another 1.5 seconds. So yeah, he's just taking a breather now, and he's looking to keep himself on track.
Yep, absolutely. All he has to do is make it to the line, and that will be a confirmed, guaranteed podium for Montero. If he can go on towards Shawshank as he crosses the line and claims the race victory. A dominant drive there from the Ferrari driver as Arjun Senapati just taps him on the rear there, picks up P2, no penalty. Both of them. Montero gets moved up to P3, ABD P4, Shrey P5, PK19 P6. What a drive from the two Aston Martin drivers as well. Good solid points for them in the Constructors Championship. Ritesh Gaming in P7, the highest ranking Alpha driver, Alpine driver, not good for him in the Constructors Championship, and his result won't help him in the Drivers Championship either. Shawshank is pretty much home and dry at this point. I'd say it's a very big long shot if he loses the lead from here. But I think the championship for Tier 2 is must be all but sealed at this point.
Yes, indeed. Edsel, if you don't mind, could you please carry the comm box for a bit? I will be right back.
Absolutely. What a race we've had. We did miss a little bit of it in the middle, but we'll get a little bit of insight from the drivers as to what happened in that safety car period between lap 17 and lap 25. We missed about 7 laps of racing. About 7 to 8 minutes of stream was unfortunately lost due to factors beyond our control, so we do apologize for that. But there is Shawshank as he walks out onto the podium. A lot of interesting graphics there, and a very Indian looking driver character does an interesting and eccentric celebration, waves to the crowd and claims P1 in today's race. That is Arjun Senapati and Montero accompanying him on the podium as we round out proceedings here in Abu Dhabi. The Ferrari victory, but absolutely elated with the victory, something that Ferrari in real life definitely haven't experienced in a while. But yeah, not to throw any more shade than that's already been thrown on Ferrari this season. Great drive there from Shawshank, who's also helped Ferrari out massively in the constructor standings as well. I think it's enough to say that he has single-handedly carried the Ferrari team this season. Moto, just quickly go through the race director as well if you get a chance. That was Shawshank and Arjun Senapati and Montero rounding off the podium. Scroll all the way down. Yes, we have a lot of incidents that we have to have a look at, that we will have a look at for sure after the race. These two definitely have a lot of work cut out for them. Everybody pretty much going for similar strategies. Wow, look at that. Look at the amount of strategy choices that there were there. But yeah, your winner today, Shawshank, on a 3-stop strategy. I think that was really the ideal strategy considering the number of safety
Yeah.
cars that we had.
Small update. It's Shawshank has also taken the championship for Tier 2. He is in a he started this race with a considerable lead of 54 points, and he has 56 points, and he's netted another 31 points. So it's mathematically impossible for anyone else to catch up to him now. So congratulations to you, Shawshank, for getting the World Drivers Championship, T2 Drivers Championship, actually.
Absolutely. 2 championships have been concluded this weekend. I believe someone won in ACC as well. I believe Davlesh Singh has won the championship
Yes.
in ACC as well. So, yeah, really, really conclusive and sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm struggling to find my words right now. A really comprehensive weekend for a number of tiers of racing as the champions are crowned well before the final race has even begun. And we're looking to set up the podium. There we go. The podium interview is underway. So we'll try to get the drivers into the VC. We have Anish Montero joining us. We're waiting for, but
Did
God
Axel
damn.
Scoop guy purposely crashed the car, bro?
Shawshank,
Yeah.
welcome to the podium interview, lads. Congratulations on a good race. We'll go from third to first because we want to save a little bit of drama as well. So we'll start with Anish Montero. Good drive from you. Just kept it safe, kept it clean. But we do need you to help us out a little bit with a few events because we did miss out a few laps, maybe between 17 and 25. We did have a little bit of a issue on our side. So there was a late safety car. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, so quali was decent. Was the first was bank was fine, and then I kept going up, and the last run was I guess you all were riding through during the commentary. You saw, I guess it was one of the Aston Martins who there was a ghost which went past by me, and I had to. I thought I had to avoid, and I just I didn't exactly cut the track, but I had a bit of a wide movement, which was an invalidation, but I didn't gain any time. And without the validation, I guess I was doing a 23.8 or something, which would have been good for pole, but I can't do anything about that. Race point of view, I would say it wasn't maybe because you all missed out on a few of the laps. I wouldn't say it was a very clean race from my end. Need to see how it goes after. Because I guess I had 3 moments: one with Swagger, one with Abhi, and one with AJ. So we need to check what exactly happened. But yeah, it was a lot of drama though. But one thing I loved is I'm not sure if you were able to catch it, but there were 3 cars which went wide in turn 1, and I don't know, they all had moments, and I just went through them like how it reminded me exactly of Lewis's overtake in Silverstone. So 2 goals simultaneously. So there are 3 cars which went wide, which went racing, and there was just a gap between them, and I just went past all of them. So, but yeah, it was a fun race, and it was expected the number of safety cars which would be there. Desync caused some problems, I guess, especially for Shawshank. But despite the desync and 10-second penalty and falling back from first to fourth, he still managed to win. So that is commendable. It's like we had no answer to his pace. But yeah, it was a fun race and good driving by both Shawshank and by Archer.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you once again on capping up a good performance this weekend. P3 for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving now to P2, we have Arjun Senapati in the VC. What looked to be a really dominant drive. He had P1 till very late in the race, but I would imagine that on the medium tires, I believe, or were you on the hard tires for that final few laps? You were not on the softs, and that really that almost cost you a podium position. But everyone else behind you was scuffling. A great drive from you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. Actually, today I had a good pace for to challenge for the win, but the last safety car really screwed me. So I had many drivers behind me on the fresh softs, and I just pitted 3 laps before the safety car on mediums. It was difficult to hold them up, but I tried to manage to hold others except for Shawshank. Maybe next time I'll try and get him.
Yep, absolutely. There are a few rounds remaining in this season, so there will be an opportunity for you to get that elusive win. Yeah, you had really good pace today, as you said. You were really giving Shawshank a run for his money, especially in the first stint. You were really keeping up with him and giving him a lot of problems. But yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations on P2. What was the decision that led to your decision to stay on the tires for the safety car restart towards the end?
actually, I actually pitted very late. Shawshank pitted earlier than me for softs, and then he
Mhm.
again pitted for soft when the safety car came. But when I came through the pit lane, when I was going by the pit lane, it was too late. I would have lost many positions back. So that's why I stayed on the medium only.
Well,
I thought
commiserations, only a
maybe
P2
I
today.
should be able to hold others. So yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Commiserations again, but P2 is a good result for you. Congratulations on the podium. And yeah,
Thanks a lot.
hopefully P1 not too far away in the future. But we now move to our man of the hour, consistently has been for the majority of this season, Shawshank. I think it's also important that you know from us firsthand that you are indeed the Tier 2 champion. Congratulations. The math has been done in the background. We've had all our members do the math in the background, and you have indeed clinched the Tier 2 championship with a race to spare. How does it feel?
It feels great, especially to do it on such a good drive, I feel, in Abu Dhabi. But yeah, man, thank you.
Great drive from you. Just managed the strategy throughout. Talk us through what would have been a frustrating period with the desync, with the safety car issues, and that 10-second penalty. Of course, what are the thoughts that were going through your mind at the time?
Yeah, I mean, the start was very exciting for me because I had Arjun right behind me, and it was a very good, back and forth on the ERS management. And then the safety car happened, and I was just texting saying that access scoop just flew by me. And then, well, it got desynced, and I got thrown back to P4 with the 10-second penalty out of nowhere. And then I just, I'm like, okay, should I pit? But then my teammate would have gotten held up in the pits if I had. So I just waited, threw myself all the way back, and just drove through the pack.
Yeah, absolutely. A great drive from you. And your pace has been really been showing throughout the season, and it's been well deserved. And it did seem initially like if maybe you had a few ups and downs towards the end of the season, we might have a more interesting drivers championship battle towards the end. But no, you managed to capitalize on the misfortune of others as well as put on some amazing drives yourself to clinch the Tier 2 championship. Man, congratulations. P1 in both the race today and the championship overall.
Thank you, boys.
And that is pretty much it from us today. We hope you have enjoyed this race. We did initially have a bit of a period in the middle where we couldn't really keep up with the action due to some technical issues on our side, but we definitely tried our best to keep up with the action when we were on track. So, thank you very much to SSJ Assassin and Moto for joining me for the stream today, as well as all the coordinators in the background who ensured that the race continued. We didn't have to restart in the middle. Um, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Tier 1 is later today. I'll see you then.
Bye.